Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony, and reviews are out for Intel's Arc. Happens to be it's going to be buried by NVIDIA's launch of the 4090 on the same day, October 12th. But nonetheless, that they are going to finally release this graphics card that they should have at least released like 6 to 8 months ago. So, um, yeah, the A770 8 gig is going to be 330, and they said the 16 gig is going to be 350. The A750 will be 290. So that's where these prices are going to come in at. Now, you're probably thinking, wow, they look pretty competitive. Yeah, they would have 6 months ago, 8 months ago, last year. I mean, even if they were out in February in the first quarter, that would have been ideal. I think Intel really needed to just get these cards out, and even April, and just said, hey, these cards are out. Let's put them at a better price than even this. And we understand, say something like this. We understand that these are not the perfect cards. This is our first try at it, and we want these to get into as many people's hands as possible. And we want them to run these cards and to be able to report back any issues that they have so that we can invest on making an even better product for our next generation. We understand entering this market is going to be extremely hard with very established people in it already, as in NVIDIA, right? They can basically control the market. They don't have to say NVIDIA, but very established players. And we want to be able to help service this industry going forward. I think that you would have had a better response than coming out with it now at these prices. I think if you take $100 off these prices, these are very compelling product, and that they are very worthwhile taking a look at. Now, these aren't, I wouldn't say they're horrible products. I think they're competent as long as you have a workflow that they work with. If you don't, yikes! Don't use them yet. Don't buy them. Don't get them. Yeah. So I mean, I would enjoy to have one of these. I would definitely, as a collector's item, I think Intel's first pass, real pass at a graphics card, and actually releasing it to gamers and in a what hopes to be a full product. Yeah, these are really. This would definitely be something I would get. I'd also get it if it was a little bit cheaper, and I would use it in a computer here. I wouldn't use it in my daily driver, but I definitely use it, try it out, and I would report bugs back. I would support it, but to me, looking at this, I'm taking the whole market into consideration here. One, you got like a 6650 XT, which can really compete with this card, and I believe it's on par, if not beating it out, at what is it, a slightly better price, like 280 or something right now, at the time of recording when I looked it up. So you have a slightly better price for it, and then you have, and I think prices from AMD and Nvidia are going to keep getting better because it's their last gen products, so they're going to keep lowering them. Is Intel going to go at a lower price right now, or are they going to stay where they're at? Right, they're just releasing in this cycle when the next generation of cards from both Nvidia and AMD they're going out the door here soon. And I mean, heck, one's going out the same day Nvidia's releasing this, and or Intel's releasing this. So Nvidia has their 4090 going out the same day Intel has the A770 coming out. I, it it doesn't make any sense to me what Intel's trying to do here, and it feels like they're really trying to bury this. We'll see what it all does, but it, it to me also it kind of looks like this is a way we exit a market. It's sad, but wouldn't you bury your launch on the same day that the competitor of quality and performance that tries so hard to have those two things every single generation, we're going to release at the same time that card releases? So we're on a doorstep to Nvidia's door. It's a really weird kind of launch day considering everything else going around. So yeah, they look like that they can run games when they run them. They do very competent at it. It looks like, or I, let's not put very competent until until I really get it in my own hands. I wouldn't say that, but they're competent at running games and having something playable. Again, it's going to take time. I understand drivers take time. I'm a software developer, so I understand that whole aspect. I understand that there is a big uh, time and effort to be able to put in this. But if you were to drop the price and just said, hey, I want to get these in people's hands, I want these to get better drivers, I think you had a much better reception. Also, new cars are there. But what about the used market? I think the used market is a huge opportunity for people that are looking to buy a computer right now. And I get that maybe some people don't want to buy a used car because it might have been mine for whatever. That's your choice. But for me, I picked up a 6700 XT for 250. And yeah, I mean, the 770, that's better than the A770. It's been out for a while, but for 250, heck, that's I'm willing to take, I'm willing to use that. So all their cards are going to get cheaper over time. I know that there's NVIDIA cards in the 330 range. I believe I've seen some 370s in that range. Now they've gone up a little bit here and there, but pick one of those up, right? You have proven drivers and everything else. I get, right? We want a third player. I really want a third player, but to me, to suggest to somebody that isn't in the realm of, hey, I'm willing to tinker, I'm willing to try to fix something, and I don't care if it works all the time, I just want to be able to help out and make a better product, like, I'm willing to do that. So if you were to have it, I'd put it in another computer and I use it. Heck, I probably would even put it maybe in my daily driver for a few weeks or a month just to try to test it out and really give it a full go of every single bug possible so I can report all of them. And maybe switch back and forth because I enjoy doing that. But for me to suggest somebody that's getting into gaming, that wants to build a gaming computer, that's just getting started and say, hey, yeah, Intel Arc would be a good option for you. I can't do that, right? They pick up a game and it doesn't work. That's on my face. That's egg on my face, and that's not going to look good on me, and it's not going to be a good experience for Arc either, for those people getting a bad taste in their mouth when they're just jumping into gaming or trying to build a computer. And this is the hard-earned money that they're spending on, especially when you're getting into a tight time economically. And when it's this tight time and you don't have all the money in the world to spend on all this stuff, you're going to probably look for a product that's maybe better suited to playing the games that you want to play and not having driver issues and everything else. And that's just the way it is. So, before I got on this, I've had a busy day and had to take care of some kid stuff and everything else. AMD just came out with their preliminary results of, hey, we're going to have we're expecting our quarter to be lower than what we prior put out there. And what was it, 700 million or something like that lower? Does that make AMD come out a little bit lower in prices this next generation to try to generate some more sales to make up some of their financial stuff from this third quarter, right? Do they do that? Do they manipulate or change their pricing that maybe they had going in? I really actually do hope that AMD comes in a lot cheaper than NVIDIA and really just says, hey, we're going to come out with a product that is in a time of recession where things are tight and people can buy. That would be awesome. I think that would be great for the GPU market. But if they do that, that puts a lot of pressure on this Intel card to sell in a market that now is really competitive and it's a generation behind. What do you do if you're Intel? To me, I'm looking back at this, right? AMD's company was held up by GPUs for a while. Then the Ryzen came, and the GPUs kind of lagged, and now they're kind of both working, you know, together. They're both releasing good products. Might not always be the best price products, but they're working out as good products. Intel's CPU division is doing really well, and now it seems like Intel's decision is, are they going to keep the GPU side around, discrete or not, so that they can, the CPU side that's doing well, right? They have a competitive product to AMD now. Are they going to just use that money and everything to pull on the GPU product, or are they just going to go in the server market? That server market might be a great opportunity for the GPU side, but I'm not, selfishly, I'd really enjoy it if they were in the desktop market, right? And making graphical GPUs that I can play games on. But is Intel willing to make that sacrifice, put that money into R&D until it starts turning the profit? That's the question I have, especially when you're a generation behind. I would not be surprised if Nvidia, the juggernaut that it is, if Intel were to come with something else out, and they are already starting to get ready, Nvidia has stuff up their sleeves, right? They have a 4080 12 gig and a 4080 16 gig, right? I think, yeah. So they already put two 4080s in there to prevent the 4070 from already coming out. Nvidia will market stuff so that they make sure that they stay on top. And I'm sure that they're ready for Arc Battle Mage if it were to ever come out. And let's say it does come out on time, which is next year. You're already a year out, and how soon after that is Nvidia or AMD going to release the next generation after that? So you're still a generation behind. If you're going to buy Intel Arc, leave it in the comments below. If you do get Intel Arc GPU and you're enjoying it, having problems, or whatever else, leave it in the comments below. Reach out. I love to be able to hear your feedback on that product because I'm fascinated by it. I don't have the money to just drop on these cards as soon as they come out. I'd enjoy to. I'd like to have one to just be able to try out. My kid's computer, which I don't know if I would put it in there. I'd like to. It's a 12th gen. I was thinking, hey, they could have had a nice GPU if they wanted to get into, more graphic stuff, gaming, whatever else later on. That would have been a great option. But with some of the reviews, I don't know if that's the best thing for their computer. But like I said, I would enjoy actually testing out for Intel, getting them feedback, if that's the route Intel wants to go. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking the time to support Great Overload and helping this channel grow. I really appreciate it. Until next time, God bless, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.